we're committed to retaining our current restrictive stance of policy for as long as is appropriate, and we'll do that.
Buckle up. These high interest rates are going to be sticking around for a lot longer than we originally thought. As I reported in this video earlier today, the Federal Reserve decided to keep interest rates steady at 5.25% to 5.5%, which is the highest rate we've seen in 23 years. And we've been sitting at that rate since last July. Now, last year, because of these high rates, the Fed was starting to see progress in the economy. Inflation rates were drastically decreasing from 9.1% inflation down to around 3%. Unemployment remained at historic lows, and the GDP continued to be strong. And because of all of that, the Fed said if everything continued on that path, 3 interest rate cuts would be appropriate in 2024. Well, when 2024 hit, things did not go according to plan, and now it's unclear whether those 3 rate cuts will happen anytime soon or at all in 2024.
We didn't see progress in the first quarter, and I've said that it appears then that it's going to take longer for us to reach that point of conference. So I don't know how long it'll take.
The Fed chairman did not rule out rate cuts in 2024, but he also didn't indicate when they could happen. He just said that the Federal Reserve needs to feel confident that inflation was moving sustainably down towards the 2% inflation goal. Right now, it's sitting at 3.5%, so we have a long way to go. At the same time, the Fed chair said the Federal Reserve does not see any reason to increase interest rates.
If we were to conclude that policy is not sufficiently restrictive to bring inflation sustainably down to 2%, then that would be what it would take for us to want to increase rates. We don't see that. We don't see evidence for that.
While the Fed chair is always pretty vague about interest rate cuts and interest rate hikes, what he was not vague about today was whether politics or the presidential election will play any role in these decisions. As I have been reporting for years, the Federal Reserve is an independent agency of the federal government. No president, no Congress gets a say in what the Federal Reserve does. And the chairman says as long as he's around, politics will continue to play no part in the Fed's decisions.
We just don't do that. I mean, you can go back and read the transcripts for this is my fourth presidential election here. Read all the transcripts and see if anybody mentions in any way the pending election. It just isn't part of our thinking. It's not what we're hired to do. It's hard enough to get the economics right here. These are difficult things, and if we were to take on a whole nother set of factors and use that as a new filter, it would reduce the likelihood we'd actually get the economics right.